The Money Matters Podcast Tip of the Day.
Most Ghanaians are still living in poverty because they lack basic math skills. Meaning, I wouldn't say lack basic math skills. It's more like not putting the basic math skills into use. You know, whatever basic math skills, the addition, the subtraction, the multiplication, and the division, and all that stuff. We're not putting it in use. So it's making us live in poverty. I call this reverse engineering, kind of, because whatever goal that you set, it doesn't matter how big the goal is. If you just set the goal, or let's say your goal is to make $100,000 in a year, 100,000 is a lot of money. There's a lot of people that never seen 100,000 before. So it's gonna be hard to wrap your mind around it. How you gonna save that money within a year? It's gonna be very tough. But if you decide to break it down you could break it down into within 12 months, how much you could make within a month, how much you need to save within a month to achieve $100,000, or how much you need to save within a week or a day or even an hour. So an example would be if you're trying to save $100,000 within a year and you break it down into monthly, you find out that you could save, if you save about $8,000 a month, $8,330 something a month, you'll be able to have $100,000 within a year. If 8,000 sounds so big to you, you could still break it down more into weekly. You're gonna find yourself that if you save about $2,000 and change every week, you'll be able to have $100,000 by the end of the year. If that's too much for you, you could break it down to daily. You'll find out that if you make $297, about $300 every day, by the end of the year, you're going to have $100,000. If that's too much for you, you could break it down into every hour. You could go into a minute and seconds and all that. If you do it per minute, per hour, it's $12 every hour per day to make 100,000. So basically, what I'm trying to say is 24 hours. What I'm trying to say is you break every basically situation, every goal down into its smallest form. That way, it's easier to wrap your mind around it. It's easier to strategize to accomplish whatever goal that you have. If you don't do it like that and you look at it from the bigger standpoint, it's going to be very tough for you to achieve that goal. So the math skills, the addition, the subtraction, the division, the multiplication that we learn, we want to be able to put that into use when we're trying to achieve our goals. You want to break it down into its simplest form and build it up. That's that's my way of saying it. That's why I call it reverse engineering. You basically break it down and then you build it up.
Yeah, so what I would say is pretty much not being able to analyze numbers, because being able to analyze numbers will actually put you down to exactly what you need to be doing every hour, every day, every week, every month to be able to achieve that goal. Because when we say, hey, I would like to save $100,000 by the end of this year, it looks so big. I'd like to save $10,000 by the end of this year. It looks so huge. But now, what is 10,000 divided by 12, which is every month? How much are you going to be able to, or you would need to put to the side every month to be able to achieve that goal? How much would you need to put down every week to be able to achieve that goal? So once we make these big plans, we have to be able to break them down, bring them down, analyze them, bring them down to the simplest, lowest form. So that way you know exactly what you need to be doing. And that also helps you. It helps you measure your success or your failure. Like, I'm supposed to be saving 100,000 by the end of this year. So that means I should save about 8,000 plus. Now we are in the second month of the year. How much have I saved? Where am I? What do I need to do? Do I need to work hard? Do I need to work harder? Do I need to step back because I've overachieved what I planned for? So yes, breaking things down, analyzing these numbers, putting your math skills into work will actually let you know exactly what you need to be doing every time, if you're on point or you are behind or whatever you need to do. So these are some of the things that I think if you put into practice, I think our financial status and our financial positions would totally and dramatically change.
This one is actually my favorite out of all the entire list. This is the putting the basic math skills into work. That's my favorite because that gives you a clear, basically you're able to, it gives you you're able to see how long it's going to take you to achieve whatever goal, how long you'll be able to re-strategize. It's easier to re-strategize yourself.
I don't
if
mean to
something
cut you
comes
off.
up.
That will also let you know how realistic is your goal.
Right.
Because if you're making $200 a week and now you set a goal of making $100,000 at the end of the month, how is that feasible? Like, how do you plan to make it happen?
Yeah, it makes, you are able to see the results before it happened.
And also, it makes it so achievable because it makes it also realistic. It will help you also to set a realistic goal because you know exactly how much you make and you know how much you need to put to the side to be able to achieve that amount that you aimed. So, yes, that's
So there you have it.
Thank you for listening to the Money Matters podcast, Tip of the Day.